Day 22. The three wise men continued their journey in silence. Melchior's teeth were still glued together with toffee, while Caspar was mentally rehearsing how he would act if he could meet another angel, and trying to compose a speech which sounded suitably awestruck and humble, whilst not conveying that he, as the most learned of all the Magi, was definitely the most worthy of angelic conversation. Balthazar was studying the map intently. The journey had been rather eventful so far, and he didn't want anything to go wrong at this stage in the game. Kevin, Gary and Wayne, the camels, were likewise silent. The angels had been very beautiful, but to camel eyes they were half bird, half human hybrids, and camels were feeling mildly disconcerted. After travelling a little way, they heard voices in the distance, as well as the unmistakable sound of baaing. Melchior wrenched his teeth apart to say, "Ooh, maybe there's some more lost sheep for us to rescue." Before long, out of the darkness, a flock of white, fluffy sheep appeared. But they weren't lost. Just behind them were shepherds carrying lanterns, crooks, woolly jumpers, and all the other sorts of things you might expect shepherds to have. The shepherds were chatting animatedly to each other, and as they grew nearer, the wise men overheard, "Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us." "People do speak funnily round here, don't they?" muttered Melchior to Balthazar in an undertone. By then the shepherds had spotted them and hurried towards them. "You'll never guess what we've just seen," started the foremost shepherd, "while we watched our flocks by night, all seated on the ground." "I see what you mean, Melchior," whispered Balthazar. "They do have a slightly odd way of arranging words. An angel of the Lord came down and—" "Old news," interrupted Caspar. "Those of us of a more learned disposition aren't so easily excited by the sight of heavenly beings," he scoffed. Luckily for Caspar, by this point Melchior had started on another extra chewy toffee and was unable to open his mouth and inform the shepherds that Caspar's statement was hypocrisy of the highest order. "This does remind me, though," continued Caspar, "that I heard some great jokes about shepherds in the inn." At this point Balthazar felt that he really did have to step in. "Thank you, Caspar. I don't think we need to hear them now," he said very firmly, and then turning to the shepherds, "Good luck on your journey to Bethlehem. We've just got to stop in Jerusalem first. And then we'll be right there." So, another word for intently is, instantly, tenaciously, tactically, carelessly, attentively. Well, let's have a look, see if we can find it. Sometimes they tell you where these words are and sometimes they don't. Right, so we're glued together, trying to pose a speech, awestruck, conveying. Do you know what? I thought this is... Aha! It's at the bottom of that paragraph. Balthazar was studying the map intently. So, instantly, well, you don't study something instantly, do you? Tenaciously means you're really holding on to it. Tactically means that you've got your tactics right, whether you know which side to play in if you're playing game rugby or something. Carelessly, no, it's attentively. He was giving it his absolute all. Why were the camels silent? Now, remember, always read all of the questions. Because the wise men told them to be quiet. I don't think there was any of that. Because they always behaved and were quiet. I think we know otherwise. They were feeling a little out of sorts. I quite like that, but we'll check in a minute. They'd lost their voices from making too much noise. I don't recall anything along those lines here. And they'd taken a vow of silence. One can but hope. Right, so let's have a look for number 2. Right, second paragraph. Kevin, Gary and Wayne, the camels, were likewise silent. The angels had been beautiful, but to the camels' eyes they were half bird, half human hybrids, and the camels were feeling mildly disconcerted. Yeah, there are bits of, I don't know, it's not right. Something odd about this. Yeah, they were feeling a little out of sorts, weren't they? An antonym of unmistakable is. Now let's have a look. An antonym means a word of the opposite, meaning synonym is the same. So unmistakable, distinctive, ambiguous, unusual, deafening, mellifluous. I think that means bad smelling, but I'm not altogether sure. I thought this was a move a letter section from one bit to the other, so I was a bit surprised when we turned it over. I'd prepared that bit. So I think it's distinctive. Let's find it in the passage. Right, so get your finger out and... Oh, it's only in the third paragraph. That's easy. After travelling a little way, they heard in the distance, as well as the unmistakable sound of barring. So that means you just couldn't... It's nothing else, is it? It's not a motorbike. It's nothing like that. So the unmistakable noise of barring, distinctive. That was easy. Do you know, see all this purple around? See? We didn't need that either, did we? Because I'm not doing writing. Shall we do you a little flower? Ooh. 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 Hang on. We'll get rid of that. And we'll do a flower. Guess we should have come up with something more Christmassy. But we didn't. Right, number 4. As used in the passage. Now that always means look at the passage. Remember, the instructions are a love letter from the examiner to you, saying, dear child, I love you. Read the passage. As used in the passage, the word funnily means, now we'll have a look at our options before we check, wittily, oddly, comically, could be tunefully, drolly. Now, wittily, comically and drolly all mean pretty well the same thing, don't they? So it's not going to be one of those. It's going to be, and it doesn't mean tunefully. I think it means oddly. Let's turn over and see what we've got. Now, I think they were talking about they have a funny way of speaking, didn't they? Right, so it's about 2/3 down. People do speak funnily around here, don't they? Muttered Melchior to Balthazar. So, oddly. Number 5. Oh, well, do you want the letter for oddly? What's B? Number 5. Melchior didn't speak to the shepherds because he didn't like them. He didn't need to add anything to what Caspar had already said. Balthazar told him not to. He liked to let Balthazar do the talking. His teeth were stuck together with toffee. Right, Melchior didn't speak to the shepherds because... So this is after the shepherds have arrived. Right. Second paragraph up on the first page. Luckily for Caspar, by this point, Melchior had started another extra chewy toffee and was unable to open his mouth to inform the shepherds that the statement was hypocrisy of the highest order. So, yes, his teeth were once again stuck together with toffee, just like they were at the beginning. And my darling children, Woolworths was the shop where they used to buy lots of toffees and sweeties that you'll never know about. Such wonders you have lost. In the meantime, go and have a lovely day. Bye.